Welcome to this week's edition of Mountain Outhouse. I'm your host, Jam Jam. This is the crazy to happen in running this week. This week's stories include road running culture, fake Twitter accounts, and caffeine use in clean sport. I ran my first road marathon this weekend in New York City, where I was subject to the full display of the road racing culture. Coming from an 11-year background of running trail races and ultramarathons, I've been absent from the road scene for quite a while. The race was honestly really fun, and the crowd support was incredible. But I've got a bit of a rant for you road racers, and I say this out of pure love. Litter. The idea that you can just toss your anywhere you please is disgusting. I get it that you're chasing your PR or BQ, but is it really that hard to carry your goo wrapper another half mile to the next water stop? The cup situation is bad enough at these large road events. Google cups at marathon if you don't know how bad it is. I used a reusable cup at NYC this weekend and made 6 stops for water. My only gripe is no one was prepared to pour water for me from a jug, but it didn't take long and I didn't waste a single cup. I saw one runner in front of me toss his gloves off into the grass at mile 2, and others tossing goo wrappers on the ground in front of me while crossing the Queensboro Bridge. Do a favor and pick up after yourselves. Don't be a slob. Pre-race fashion. I generally am a fan of the ultras fashion scene these days. Crop tops, jorts, plenty of accessories, and even Euro vests. Saw some new things at the marathon this weekend that I just can't let go. Pre-race trash bags with holes cut in them, throwaway Tyvek jumpsuits, and even straw? People were tucked away like elk sleeping in fields in the starting area. Strange times. But then again, I'm sure us ultra freaks are, well, freaks to the road scene. Medical tents. For those of you ultra folks entering your first road marathon, just know that the med tents are actually aid stations in disguise.
Feeling good! Alright, just had to have a quick visit to the medical tent. But I had some salt and some pretzels. I feel a lot better.
That's where you'll find pretzels, Vaseline, and other accoutrements normally found at the typical ultra aid station. Carnage. The stakes are higher at road marathons than ultras. When you are running at those speeds, if something goes wrong, it's usually pretty drastic and telling. The number of people that just snapped in the final couple of miles was shocking. Try going from 6-minute per mile pace to a standstill with a pulled hamstring. Brutal. Breaking. Also with election results, we go to our newest political correspondent.
China.
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 China. I love China.
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 China. China.
China.
China.
China.
That's been my new thing, China.
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 Let me ask you about China.
China. I go to China.
China.
China?
I love China.
People think I don't like China. I love China.
Why does everyone think I hate China? I love China.
Look at that. Isn't that nice? China.
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 China's great.
China.
I love China.
I love China.
We're gonna go run in China.
China, okay?
China.
China all the time.
China.
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 We now move on to weather, and for that report, we head live to our favorite weather reporter, Mary June.
Oh, cheerio, Mountain Outpost. This is Mary June coming live from the Tetons, where the world has gone completely mad. I like to blame this on Great Britain deciding to do Brexit, so America decided to vote for Trump. Very, 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 very sad day, and I don't know what the weather is going to hold for us other than doom and gloom. So, sorry, Jam Jam. I hope you're enjoying everything down in Arizona, and we'll talk to you soon.
A huge shout out to Michael Wardian, who ran all 6 of the World Marathon Majors this year, culminating with New York this weekend. Wardian averaged a 2:31 for all 6 races in what may become the Grand Slam of marathons. There's been a growing trend of shadow commentary in our sport by fake Twitter characters. The identity of these accounts is currently unknown to the public, but hundreds of tweets are going out weekly criticizing or playing satire on our sport. I personally love interacting with these entities, but do have to wonder, who is behind these accounts? They often have an extremely good pulse on the scene, so I'm fairly certain it's an inside job. Will we ever learn who you are? Are they all run by the same person? What is their agenda, and how do they have time for all this? All questions to ponder. Here's a rundown of the most popular tweeters and their respective personalities. At AS Garbage Can, one of the first on the scene, this account briefly disappeared from the social landscape. Taking the voice of a cardboard collapsible trash can, the Can is often focused on Western states and the NorCal scene, Twitter count, 598 followers and 688 tweets. At BlowUpArch, this one has been hella active lately. Commentating on politics and speaking in third person, this is one witty account. Twitter count, 319 followers, 1,004 tweets. At DouchebagUltra, this one is one of the larger accounts and likes to point out what it considers douchey in the sport. This account has publicly denounced crop tops and therefore is obviously and officially the ultimate hashtag douchebagultra of all. Twitter count, 1,272 followers, 1,495 tweets. At WS Sweatpants. This inanimate object is a pair of sweatpants with the Western States 100 logo. They supposedly send out 2 pairs of sweatpants to worthy ultra runners everywhere. This is my official appeal to you, WS Sweatpants. Make my dreams come true. Twitter count, 278 followers, 373 tweets. This last group is a personification of an elite ultra runner's most prominent feature, come to life as a Twitter account. Here's a quick rundown. At Rob Carsbeard, an amazing 2,259 followers, often simple and comical with statements such as growing or dream big and bushy. This is one of my favorites, but has lost its luster with Rob being out of the scene for the past year. At Tim Olson's hair, 810 followers and 110 tweets focused on Timmy Olson's locks. Often interacting with Tim's real account, this one often retweets Tim's going-ons. At Walmsley's shirt. This one is new, but was inevitable. Just 45 followers and 7 tweets. This one could use some TLC. A quick clean sport update. I'd like to bring up the subject of caffeine use as a performance enhancer. We've all been charged this past week to pledge to train clean, compete clean, and live clean by the Clean Sport Collective. Let me be clear, all joking aside, I am very much for a clean sport and support transparency and testing that would ensure we can all compete on a level playing field without performance-enhancing drugs. One issue I struggle with personally is the ethical use of caffeine. While I would never personally take any banned substance on the WADA performance-enhancing drug list, I do use caffeine to my advantage both in training and especially in races. I'm not sure how this fits in with the train, compete, and live clean motto, as I feel a profound performance-enhancing effect from the use of caffeine in races I compete in. The boost I've felt from drinking Monster energy drinks in 100-mile races has been so profound that I've literally come back from the dead and run out of my mind course record splits in high-profile ultras, such as the Hard Rock 100, while consuming this hopped-up stimulant.
Oh, I'm freaking pumped! I've been drinking green tea all goddamn day! Oh.
Just this past weekend, I slammed a Red Bull seconds before starting my first road marathon in New York and ran out of my mind for close to 3 hours, finishing with a Boston qualifying time of 2 hours, 53 minutes. I felt fantastic and definitely amped up while racing through the streets of New York. Although I know I had a huge boost of adrenaline, I can't deny the effect that caffeine had on my system. I felt literally like I had wings. I'm not the only one, as caffeine is in abundant use across the ultra and general running scene. Jim Walmsley, in his Grand Canyon Rim to Rim to Rim report on iRunFar.com, admittedly not only drank down a 16-ounce Red Bull the morning of his run, but also swallowed 3 caffeine pills 45 minutes before the start of his run. I've never tried that cocktail, but I bet it's rocket fuel. Fact is, caffeine is a drug and a stimulant. It's acceptable in our 2016 culture, but does that make it truly clean sport approved? Is it truly clean living and clean competing? I'm not saying anything one way or the other, nor am I saying it is in the same category as EPO or HGH, or any other now deemed illegal substance by WADA or USADA, as it's not. I'm not meaning to minimize the fight to eradicate illegal substances in our sport or what the Clean Sport Collective is doing. I'm just curious as to what you all think. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have a discussion. I'd really love to hear your feedback and what you guys think about this topic. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. If you have crazy stories to share, tweet us at Mountain Outpost. Have a week.